heard some creaking. Feel like we're in that Titan submarine. I heard noises.
Probably lifting the rear tires off the
No,
ground.
we're not. Listen to you.
Of your Corvette.
What's wrong with you guys? I like this little setup in here. It's not so bad. We can fit some tires in here. Some other vet stuff, just like the custom plate that's on the trailer. You see that? They got a custom plate on the trailer?
No, I didn't.
It says vet stuff.
Vet stuff. Well, of course it would. What else would it be?
Right, exactly. See? Not surprised. Many of you are. He's not.
No.
Welcome to Tech Tuesday. Just a couple quick notes and conversation before we get into your questions. This weekend is going to be the biggest free car show in the state of Ohio, right here at Coughlin Chevrolet. Will you be here for this one for a change?
No.
Oh, come on. He's just no fun. I'm sorry. It's right here, and I can't even get him here.
Oh, it's right here. Hold on. I live 35 miles away from here.
Whatever. We sell cars in California, Arizona, New Mexico. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys get a chance to come out and see us. And I am supposed to. I'm just reserved because a couple of curveballs kind of came at me. I'm supposed to be in Connecticut on Sunday for the Vets on the Beach show. Talked about before, you kind of freaked me out with your flesh-eating bacteria.
It's real.
I know. We're not going in the water. We're going to be by the water.
Okay.
So if I can get out of here early enough on Saturday, we'll be at that show, and all that stuff will be shared on future uploads right here on our channel. I thought I'd just go on record and let you know in the last 2 days I've been called an a-hole, at least to my knowledge. Probably more, but I've been called twice. In the video on Sunday from the kid when I left him, that was all a bit, and that was fun. What a nice kid, great spirit. Really enjoyed that video. Thanks for all the great comments and all the engagement on that one as it continues to grow. And then today, just business, trying to talk to people. It is so hard when we pick up the phone and it's like, I want to get on the list. First of all, thank you. We appreciate the business opportunity. And you want to know, if you had an idea, when do you think I would get my car? And right now, the right answer is, I don't know. And I had a guy today ask me 3 different ways. Well, how many people in front of me? If you had to guess, I mean, I know you don't know, but if you had to guess. And I just said, look, man, with the pending strike coming on Thursday, I really just don't know. And he got mad because I wouldn't answer his question and called me an a-hole and hung up. It's like, I never asked for a deposit on an order because we know that the weight is so inconsistent right now. The distribution is so inconsistent, so we try to be fair up front. We're really excited. Every car that we sell is ordered for you guys. We're not ordering cars for stock. They're ordered for you guys. So those opportunities do mean a lot to us, but there's a lot that we simply just don't control. So he obviously has got to be new in the marketplace. And how he heard about us, he was calling from afar too, so how he heard about us, I don't know. I'm mentioning it just in case he's watching the channel. I doubt it because of what he said to me before he hung up. So, I know what.
I want to be on the 2035 list. Have you started that one yet?
How about the kid on Sunday? And he says, hey, in 30 years, man, 30 years. Like, man, if I live 30 years, I mean, I want to live 30 years because, you know, what's happening in 30 years, it's going to be the 100th anniversary for Corvette. And I told Ryan, if I'm still alive and if you got to wheel me up to the National Corvette Museum where they have that time capsule buried on the original side of the oval of the National Corvette Museum, I want to be there when they unearth all that stuff. That's when it's supposed to happen. If you look at that little bow tie and little plaque out there, it talks about all that. So that's kind of, Corvette is a way of life, and hopefully I live long enough to see that. It'll be pretty historic, that's for sure. I mean, I'm always looking to the future, but I'll tell you what, I got to worry about to now, you know, so that's why we're having as much fun as we can. Actually going to be using the trailer. I have trailer anxiety, Chuck. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't for you, seriously, it wasn't for you and Nate helping me, coaching me, yelling at me, it's just like, no, Rick, you can't do this, no, you got to do this. I'm getting ready to go on Wednesday to the NCM Motorsports Park. Company Track Night in America is sponsoring, kind of reserving the track, and we're participating in a track event. There's 3 groupings. There's a novice group. I've graduated. Be proud to know that I've graduated to the intermediate class. Okay. And then there's an advanced class that I'll never be in. If you've ever been to one of these events and you watch the guys in the advanced class, you're like, okay, No freaking way. Those guys are nuts.
Guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, knows what he's doing. They got a lot more money invested, It's like, okay, nah, not doing that. And just, they're living on the edge, man. I don't have a problem having fun and pushing it, but I don't want to push out that far to the edge as those guys do. But anyways, our friend Michael from Florida is going to be with us at the NCM Motorsports Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky, just across the street from the National Corvette Museum. Why do you guys forget that that's there? There's a lot of fun there. There's a lot of education and a lot of thrills that you can have, and we're going to share that with you on a future upload right here on the channel. So I'm actually going to my first real track event because of scheduling and everything I've whined about this year, but I'm excited that we're going down there. Incidentally, Thursday's also the day and the deadline of the potential strike, so I don't know if there'll be anything kind of going on.
We've covered this. They're going to strike.
You
It's
really
just a
think
matter
so?
how long.
See,
They're not going to take it to this level and not strike. I don't believe so.
I'm thinking positive. I'm glad you said that, because I was hoping that after all the little mudslinging and some of the nasty comments, that at the end they'd say, here, look, we're going to take care of our workers. We're going to take care of our employees. And, and everybody's going to do better. And let's move forward and be proud of the products that we have to offer our consumers. I was hoping that that would be the case and that would be the story. Still time for that to happen. Maybe I should be the negotiator, but who knows what's going to happen. It probably will. Until I cut out that part. I started getting into this big tangent. Well, you guys don't want to hear about it. A lot of people don't even know there's a potential strike, but unfortunately, in our business, it's going to directly affect it immediately, so we had to talk about that. But I'll give you an update. I actually give you a live update Thursday when I'm down there at Bowling Green Assembly. We'll go over there and also talk about order cycle for constraints for this cycle. I'm a little leery right now. I'm still preparing for an allocation cycle. I was telling you that my you-know-what detector is up on this. For the 4 years we've been ordering C8 Corvettes, never have we had month over month had identical numbers to order. The allocations came out the other day, and I didn't do an update. If you guys noticed this, hey Rick, where's the market update? A couple of you guys text me and stuff like that. There was no, in the market update, I could have talked about Bolt, Equinox, and Suburban and Tahoe. Nothing in there was talked about with Corvette. Incidentally, the Corvette numbers were identical what they were for August. So my radar's out there, man. I don't know.
Would they copy paste?
Exactly. It's just like, so how could that be? I don't know. So the numbers were different for the other models, what they were for August versus September. I'm sorry, we're going to get into Tech Tuesday here, but I didn't want to talk about all this stuff because we didn't do a market update. So I'm not quite sure for Corvette. So I guess Thursday we'll find out. I'm going to log in and do the best I can down there. Sometimes the signal's a little jiggy when you're out there at the track and so forth, but we'll get you some kind of an update right here on this YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, you hit the bell notification so you don't miss those uploads. You thumbs up this particular video, make some comments when we're done, and don't forget, at the end of tonight's upload, we do have a beautiful rides segment. Last week was pretty cool, with all the trailers and the Corvettes. People say, hey, Rick was right. It's like, I'm not the only one. I'm just going to be the guy that gets more exposure to it. It's like everybody's doing it. Sure. It makes a lot of sense. This is it's going to be a fun adventure for me, but I am a nervous wreck. But I can't drive like I normally drive. And just one more quick story, if I may. I wasn't going to tell this. I told you didn't see the footage. You should take my trailer license away. The day I got the trailer, and you guys saw that on the video, if you missed it, link down below in the description, as I'm coming off the freeway. As you come off the freeway, there's 2 lanes that go left. Well, I needed to be in that right lane. As I'm turning left, I didn't see anybody there, and I think the guy kind of come flying off the freeway up in that right lane. Anyways, I turned left, stayed in my lane, and then I kind of veered over to the right. Incidentally, I had my camera out, and I was trying to get a little footage for you guys to say, oh, I got my new trailer here, and I cut the guy off, and he's beeping, and he's flipping me off. I'm like, oh my God, I almost sideswiped this guy my very first turn in the trailer. So I'm going to drive really like an old lady on the way down there, so my time is going to be a little extended getting there, but that's a little anxiety I have, to be really careful. We thought about getting some big giant camper mirrors or something like that on the side of the car. But yeah, it'll be fun. So looking forward to sharing a lot of content with you guys all around the lifestyle and this car, Corvette. So thanks again for joining us. Quick break and we'll be back with Tech Tuesday. let you talk at some point here.
Okay.
To start tonight's show, going back to Sunday's episode, that kid that was in the car with me from Taco Bell was talking about his buddy, and he helped him out, and it was the first time he ever jumped a car. So why not talk about that with our audience? What's the proper way to jump a car as far as putting the cables on and taking them off?
Sure. Anytime you jump any vehicle, it should be red on first, black on last. Because if you notice sometimes when you put the black on, it arcs, a little spark. You always want that on the ground side, not the power or the module
See,
side.
I always thought it was the negative first to ground it, so I'm glad you said that. Okay.
Nope, you want to put positive on first, negative on last. That way if it does arc, it's arcing on the ground side. Once the vehicle started, you want to take the red off first, the black off first to break the connection, and then the red off last.
Okay.
Because when you take the black off, it could arc as well again, so.
Okay, red on first, then black, and then black
off first, and then red.
Okay, so it's opposite. All right.
That way, when you're connecting it or disconnecting it, you always want to do the ground side last. That way, if you do get a power surge, it's on the ground side of the vehicle.
Okay, good. Good way to start the show. You got some emails there. What you got, buddy?
Yes, sir. This one comes from Greg. It says, I have a 2019 Grand Sport manual that I regularly track. Kudos. Have fun.
Yeah.
I had a strange issue I haven't heard anyone else having. After starting up for a session, there was a small backfire and the entire instrument cluster was basically dead, and I received all kinds of alerts about transmission error, TPMS error, etc. Digital gauges all read 0, even the analog gauges were not working, no reading on the tach, speedometer, gas, etc. When I turned the car off, I noticed that the infotainment center would not turn off and the radio continued to play even after locking the car. The car seemed to drive just fine, so I would pull up the battery. That fixed everything. Have you heard of this? No, I have not heard of any of this, but by disconnecting the battery, whatever happened, you cleared all the codes, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, boy, he should have checked the codes before he cleared them.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Yeah. But when you're jamming on the car like that, there's all kinds of stuff going through those computers.
Sure, right. Absolutely. And that's what I would assume happened. You had an electrical surge somewhere that kind of made everything kind of go haywire.
Is there a chance that he could still hook that up and maybe they're in history?
There's a possibility of it, yes.
Worth checking?
Yep.
Bring it into your dealer, have them hook it up, check some codes, and that might help at least give you an idea if there's a problem that will reoccur next time you go back out on track. I'm glad you're enjoying the car that way too, man. That's fantastic. Here's one from Dennis. It says, okay, Rick, my friend, quick follow-up. I guess we featured his beautiful ride in a recent Tech Tuesday. Thank you for that. He goes, how can you start the C8 Corvette in a mode other than touring? Because when I start it, I want to hear that exhaust symphony of the C8 Corvette. Actually, I'm going to go into more detail on that, but real quickly, let me jump in the car and I'll show you what he's talking about. All right, guys, using my car as a tool again to answer Dennis's question, and the answer is going to be right here in my mode. But here's what he's talking about. When you turn your mode selector and you go to sport mode or track mode, yes, everything's open. We're in sport mode. But when you turn the car off, open the door here, restart the car, it's not in sport mode. You're going to see that it's in touring mode. So how do you start the car to have that exhaust open all the time? It's that function of my mode. So if you want your exhaust open every time you start your C8 Corvette, no, it doesn't do it in Z mode. That's another fun function. But when you turn the car off, it goes back to touring mode. And just as we did in sport mode, when you're in track mode and turn the car off, it'll come back and default to touring mode. So how do you start the car with the exhaust open? Go to your home button here. This is your main home screen. Go into settings here, then go into the vehicle tab up here. Drive mode customization, go into my mode. And you can see I've already done what you want to do, Dennis. I've got the engine sound all the way open, and I like my steering just a little bit tighter. I put it in sport mode. If I tap this over here, it goes to track, but I'm going to go into sport. So when you turn the car off, let's go to my mode. That's a turning to the left of your touring. That goes into my mode. Lets me know here's what you just changed, and everything is there. So now let's turn the car off. Wow, I'm at 9,000 miles already? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what happens when you start your car. And look it's still in my mode. So the exhaust and everything is open as we had preset in those settings I just showed you. All right, Chuck, you have some more, sir?
Yes.
It looks like you got two questions.
Yeah, this is a two-part question.
Folks, only one question per email, please. No.
Comes from James. Says, question 1. My 22 C8 HTC 2LT, 3,400 miles, water in both right and left headlights. I never drive in the rain. Water comes in strictly from washing. No high pressure wash or rinse. Has a TSB been released for this issue? Some official chat on C8 forum saying owners have received warranty coverage for headlight replacement. There's not a bulletin explicitly for the vets. This covers all of the makes and models. They give you 5 or 6 different scenarios of moisture or condensation in the headlights that are normal, that dissipates after a while.
Right.
So, I mean, yes, I have put a couple headlights in under warranty for water. Yes, but you have to take it to the dealer. They have to take pictures. They've got to send it to GM. GM tells us, okay, go ahead and put the headlights in or don't. So it's up to GM.
I've also heard it has to do with some of that moisture you're seeing has to do with an anti-fog spray that they use in a headlight assembly.
Yep.
That doesn't dissipate, that will, depending on the conditions that your car's in, will generate that. Sometimes guys will see it and then, like you said, it goes away. So
right.
Hopefully it does in your case. If not, then under warranty, you're gonna get yourself a new headlight.
All right, question 2. Do all C8s come with a track wheel alignment or just a C8 with the Z71 package?
Z51.
All right, all these vets basically have, it's not a track alignment per se,
right?
But it's a pretty aggressive alignment for the spirited driving they expect you to do in the car, whether you're on the track or not on the track. So no, they don't come with track alignments. We call it a semi-track alignment, and what I do for the custom alignment is I take as much of the camber out, as much of the toe out to get more contact of the tire on the asphalt. But yeah, I mean, it's not a track alignment per se, it's just an aggressive alignment.
Okay. I think that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A regular viewer of the channel, thank you, Bert. Appreciate that. It says, Rick, apologies for the repetitive question. Not a problem. Appreciate the content. It helps us help you. However, can we get another tutorial on the PDR override setup? Perhaps maybe a general overview on the PDR for the C8 Corvette and its capabilities. I just want to acknowledge your question. Yes, we will do that. Unfortunately, not in tonight's episode, but I will do that in detail for you guys very, very soon. Thank you, Bert.
All right, this one comes from Sam. Says, hi, Rick, and His Holiness Father Chuck. Thank you. It says,
you guys.
I have a 23 C8 Corvette Stingray with a Z51 package. Questions about adding the 2 quarts to the DCT from my mechanic and longtime friend, a quandary whether I should do it or not. First,
we get that question a lot.
Yeah.
Do I add the additional 2 quarts? I'm not going to track my car. I'm sorry, but go ahead. I get that a lot.
Well, he says, first, will the extra fluid put a strain on the DTC fills? No. Second, if I do not track my beast, is there any benefit to adding the 2 quarts? I mean, I've put it in guys' cars that don't track and they still notice a difference. So it's kind of a personal preference. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to put it in, put it in. If you don't. But I will tell you, guys that don't track, that I've put the extra liters in, get back with me and say, man, I noticed a difference even on the street. So
feels a little smoother.
Yeah, it's entirely up to you whether you have it done or not. And then the third part is there's aftermarket equipment out there which can force fluid through the filter. And one product in particular that has a valve which is left in the fill port. Will these products cause damage or void the warranty? One that you're forcing through the filter possibly could. I don't know about the one that goes in with the fill port and you can add it in like that because the fill port's separate from the filter. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we talk about that constantly, and that's one of the things because we're primarily new Chevrolet representatives. Anything that you do beyond the factory stuff, there is a potential that you could void your warranty. Yeah, you got to be careful what you're doing. We have to have you sign a form at delivery talking about things that you would do to your car, aftermarket items you would add to the car could very well void your warranty if they're a direct result of the problem, if that's something you put on there. When you start screwing around that transmission, though, I wouldn't be. My personal preference, I wouldn't be messing around with anything. And it's complicated all by itself before you start adding stuff to it. You know what I mean?
And once again, we got to cover the issue. If you've had the 2 extra liters added and you go in for a DCT filter change, make sure you tell them, look, I've got the 2 extra liters in.
Yeah.
Because if the technician don't know and he pulls that 3/4 1 inch plug out, the 2 liters going to come rushing out.
Here's one from Mark on Facebook. Thanks for that. I think you looked this up. I'm not sure what the answer was on that. Anyways, the question is, Ricky, my 2022 C8 Corvette convertible, the material on the top, as you're looking at right here, is where the window and the hooks come down on the latch. They're ripping the material. Can you address this on your Tech Tuesday program? I'm not sure if you've heard about it. Mark, thanks for watching the channel. I appreciate the message. Have you heard about that? I mean,
I have not heard about that.
It looks like it's misaligned, or I don't know. I can't really tell from just the one picture, but it does look like it's
it looks like it's the back side where the top's coming up.
Right.
So I know there's some fine adjustments you can do on those tops. I don't know if that is necessarily an adjustment issue, or maybe the latch is down instead of up when it's coming up and catching it.
Yeah, because when that top comes down, if you're looking at it from the side, when the top comes down, if I remember correctly, it kind of goes down and then kind of slides in, kind of pulls itself down.
Right.
So it could be slamming at that point, and then as it pulls itself down. So I'm not sure if there's something that you could do in those minor adjustments that they allow you to do. Is that something you think he can look into?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to look into it and really see what's going on with the top. See exactly what's catching and why it's catching, but there are some minor adjustments you can make to that whole hard top assembly.
And you look, there was no bulletins on this particular problem?
No.
Okay, all right, so maybe this is the beginning of something, hopefully not to come, but if it does, then we'll see a new bulletin. If it becomes a very commonplace, then they give a bulletin out there, so it makes his job a little bit easier to fix the cars for you guys. So right now, no, this is kind of a rare occurrence. So knowing that there is a little bit of an adjustment, hopefully that does help you. All right, guys, we can sit and talk to you guys all night long. We really, really enjoy that. I still can't believe you're not going to come to our own car show. I'll never get you to Carlisle.
Don't say never.
Okay, well, all right, there's hope. Absolutely. I'm going to Nate's house tonight in real time to put these on, so I have something to tie down all my tires and all my stuff. And thank you to Michael. He actually is going to help me get the tires on and the duct work and all that stuff while we're at the track. There's a lot involved to get ready for the track, and that's some of the anxiety that I'm having right now. It's like, man, I hope I don't forget something, So you got to remember all that stuff. Then when you're at track, you got to remember all your settings that you got to be in, and then you got to go out there driving and enjoy yourself after all that. So yeah, it's going to be a good time, because it is that culture within the Corvette culture that just is such a rush for me, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So thanks you guys for watching. Now we're done talking cars. Thanks again for the emails and all the questions. We got more coming for you next week. Right now we have for you
your beautiful rides.
Yeah, these are. Check them out.
Too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young, and and I didn't understand that you are the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you